Welcome back to the Biz Radio Network. I'm your host and tour guide, Jack Warkenthien, on The Next Step here. And as usual, I always deliver a fast finish on a Saturday morning. Now that you know to kiss theory goodbye, and you know the top 5 things to focus on in your business, we're going to talk to you about an interesting business. In fact, I have a distinguished guest in the studio sharing his weekend with us today. And let me just tell you a little about Paul Williams, the Chief Technology Officer of a very innovative company that you're going to know more about and want to know more about in the future called Gray Hat Research. Paul Williams is regarded as one of the foremost experts on architectural design level security in the United States. And you know how important that is with Homeland Security and everything we're reading about and hearing about on the news every day. Well, this young man has 28 years of breakthrough innovation and invention across a diverse array of sciences and technologies, too numerous to name. He's also an advisor to federal law enforcement on some of their toughest cyber crime cases, so he knows of what he speaks. And as a result of all of these special skills in the field of computer security, over the years he has collected a wide variety of hacking tools, worms, Trojan horses, and computer viruses. He says for advanced purposes or advanced research purposes, this man is armed and dangerous. Paul has a personal collection of 22,000 computer viruses, 800 Trojan horse programs, and he is ready and armed at any day. So you better be nice to this man. He maintains his collection, he says, for research. And I want to introduce him and to you, Paul Williams. Welcome to the Biz Radio Network.
Hi, Jack. Thanks. Glad to be on the show.
You must be an awful sick person with that collection, I got to tell you.
It does sound sick when you think about it.
I heard that from an early age, you have been interested and intrigued in this whole computer hacking genre.
Yes, I've always been on the attack side, not illegally, but breaking my first encryption code at 12 years old, 32 years ago, may I add. But
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now let's talk about this company, Gray Hat Research. First of all, I want you to share the mission or the purpose of this company, and then I want you to help the audience with the difference between black hat and white hat, hence the name Gray Hat Research. Tell us about Gray Hat Research.
Well, Jack, we specialize in strategic security. That is the art of making networks more reliable, more scalable, more functional, lowering the cost of ownership, and, oh, by the way, up to 90% more secure at the same time. So it's not just security. The message isn't just keeping a service patched and antivirus and policies and procedures, but how can I increase business efficiency and make it more secure at the same time by doing any number of different technology
Well, the thing I love about your mission is you're going to make me 90% or more secure without adding any additional dollars to my bottom line other than what I pay you in consulting fees.
That is correct, and that's using the clients, the customers' metrics, not ours.
That's right. And so I love that. Now, tell me about the genesis and your motivation for starting such a company.
Well, I noticed there's such a gap between the so-called black hats, the hackers that break into corporate networks, and the white hats, the defenders. The black hats, here they are doing hex code, machine code, assembly language, a low-level coding, and most of the white hats just are, high-level security policies, keep your service patched, pretty big, incredible knowledge gap. And we said to beat these guys at their own game, we have to be just as sharp and smart, if not smarter and sharper than the black hats are. And that's the motivation for starting Gray Hat Research.
So white hats are the good guys.
That's right.
And the black hats are the bad guys.
That's right.
Okay. Now, you talk about the distinction between them both. The one thing I loved with my conversation with Nolan Habiger the other day was he talked about this concept called holistic security consulting. And I love the way he described it as a combination of cybersecurity, physical security, and human factor. Talk about each of those three and how you may be one of the only people that can help our clients, our listeners, with all three.
Well, that's correct, Jack. If you don't equally defend against cyber, hackers breaking through your firewalls into your network, the physical security of your facilities, your server rooms, and your servers, and the people purported to keep all this secure, your very employees that work and use those servers, the administrators that are supposed to be keeping it secure. If you don't do all three equally well, you really haven't done anything. Some of our biggest hack cases we've ever solved in the tens of millions have been network administrators sabotaging their own networks.
That's pretty impressive. And the other thing that is impressive, as an entrepreneur, you literally, as the founder of this company, have evolved from a one-person company to a real full-functioning corporation right now. Describe how that process has been for you.
Jack, everything that you have on your shows and things, that the whole, I am into technology. Running a business,
You're a scary fellow, Paul.
Yeah, I quickly discovered it just wasn't fun. And John Kaiser, a long story career in business, a former VP at SAIC, and on and on and on. He is just made to run businesses. He excels at security strategy, but he's a business, investment banking and so forth. And just turning the business over to his leadership to guide the day-to-day operations was huge, because it allowed me to focus on what I love to do, traveling and speaking and innovating and technology and, working with the, government clients.
You're listening to Paul Williams, the Chief Technology Officer for an emerging, very, very critical and strategic company in our marketplace as well as the world called Gray Hat Research. And by the way, for you to learn more, spell it out, Gray, hatresearch.com. One of the things I was so impressed with when I did my research, Paul, is the fact that a fast growth gazelle company like this needs to absorb a lot of employees, and yet the barrier to entry as a future employee is set so high, you are only hiring the top 1% of the leaders in the world. Describe how you can get great people consistently every day.
Great question, Jack. We get them to come to us. We have a huge advantage being paid to speak nationally, even overseas. We're exposed to some of the best and brightest minds of the business, and we identify with them because we understand technology, we master it, but we speak business. And these people will come up, and we have tests to vet and assure ourselves of their caliber. They'll basically come out the woodwork to us. We put them through these exhaustive, brutal, hands-on stuff, and we get the best of the best of the best, and we have a way of proving and measuring and knowing that.
In the last minute, share what's coming down the pipeline at Gray Hat Research in the future.
Expansion. We're basically franchising. All the brain trust is here in Houston, but practices Tampa now, Seattle, Austin, soon Washington, D.C., Memphis coming online, and soon San Jose, California coming up next month. It's a great business to be in.
I'm telling you, someday will you take me on a tour of that Gray Hat Research data center, that underground bomb shelter?
Yeah, if you do a show from down there.
Paul Williams, the time goes by ever so fast. Paul Williams, CTO, Gray Hat Research. Thanks for sharing your weekend with us.
Thank you, Jack. Glad to be here.
You bet. In the meantime, I am Jack Warkenthien, signing off for the next step here on the Biz Radio Network, bidding you adieu and wishing you the best luck and wishes for every step you make towards success this week. So long. See you next week on the radio.